The impact of a single $1 million apologist will not change our culture as powerfully as the impact of 1,000,000 $1 apologists. Hey everyone, Alisa Childers here for 𝗧𝗫𝗗𝗗𝗧𝗜𝗕. Studying apologetics can be really intimidating because it covers so many different topics all at the same time. When I was first starting out, I would barely grasp one concept only to be made aware of 10 more things I needed to know about like right now. So while simultaneously trying to grasp the cosmological argument, biblical Greek, the history of philosophy, world religions, and textual criticism, I found myself with several open books and a completely overwhelmed mind. But as I learned how to prioritize, I discovered 8 practical tips that helped me simplify and study apologetics in a fruitful and much more productive way. So I'm going to share those with you today. The first one is master the basics. Start with a basic argument for the existence of God, like the cosmological argument, the teleological argument, or the moral argument. Or maybe start with the nature of truth. You don't have to be an expert, but if you get a general working knowledge of just the basics, you'll have a really great foundation to build on. This also helps you keep less important topics to the side while you build a good foundation. Then you can start adding those other things. Number 2, learn one new thing every day. So in our busy lives, finding time to read and study can be difficult. So make it a priority to just commit one fact or concept to memory every single day. It might sound simple, but you won't believe how quickly this information will start to accumulate. This way, if you only have time to read, say, one paragraph out of one book, you can still feel good knowing that you've made progress. The third practical tip for studying apologetics is to focus your study on topics you care about. After you master the basics, specialize in an area of apologetics you're really passionate about. Maybe it'll be philosophy or logic or science or Islam. Personally, I'm not all that enthusiastic about science, but I'm very interested in the Bible. So I tend to focus my research on textual criticism and canon and biblical reliability. The fourth practical tip, and this may seem simple, but it's don't neglect your personal Bible study and prayer. It can be really tempting to make apologetics a priority over your personal time of Bible study and prayer. And it can become easy to lose sight of what you're actually learning to defend. So having a regular time of prayer and Bible study is not only necessary for your own spiritual growth, but will actually make you a much better apologist. Number 5, it's okay to admit it when you don't know something. No one can know everything, and it's possible to stump even the most respected and sophisticated scholars. I once audited a class by a brilliant professor, and a student asked him a question. He responded, I'm not sure. Let me look into it, and I'll get back to you. It impressed me that he would have the humility to admit that he didn't know the answer, and it actually caused me to trust what he had to say about the things he did claim to know about. Simply saying, I don't know, will build not only trust and model humility, but it can also open a door to future conversations with the person you're sharing your faith with. Number 6, make it your goal to win the person, not the argument. Now, we say this a lot in apologetics, but when talking with someone who's raising objections against your faith, it can be really tempting to slam down facts like a sledgehammer. But being a good apologist means having the maturity and wisdom to stay focused on winning the person. Sometimes this means not answering their objections directly, but asking a few gentle, well-placed questions to get them thinking. Number 7, utilize various types of media. Are you a busy mom with small kids? A full-time student? Do you have a 40-hour work week with little free time? Well, you don't have to sit down and read for hours every day to become knowledgeable in apologetics. There are tons of great podcasts, audiobooks, and videos that you can watch or listen to on the go while you're driving or folding laundry or cooking or whatever it is you're doing in your daily life. And finally, number 8, don't give up. As my own questions were being answered, I wanted to reach out and help other people who were struggling in their faith. And I almost gave up because I figured that I would probably never know enough to really make an impact for the kingdom of God. I read some great advice from J. Warner Wallace, who pointed out that there are actually very few million-dollar apologists writing books and headlining conferences. But what the church really needs are $1 apologists who are willing to study and devote themselves to their local church and community. J. Warner Wallace wrote this, "The impact of a single $1 million apologist will not change our culture as powerfully as the impact of 1,000,000 $1 apologists." I thought, I can do that. I can be a $1 apologist. So I began to talk to my friends about apologetics and offered to help teach a few teenagers at our church who had questions. A couple of years later, I attended the Cross-Examined Instructor Academy, where J. Werner Wallace was one of my instructors in presenting apologetics. Talk about full circle. Don't give up. Your church needs you. Your family needs you. Your kids need you. Be the best $1 apologist you can be. You never know how God will use you if you will be faithful, as 1 Peter 3:15 says, to always be ready to give a defense to anyone who asks you for a reason for the hope that is within you. If you want to learn more, you can go to 𝗧𝗔𝗫-𝗗𝗗𝗏, or you can go to my YouTube or Facebook at Alisa Childers, or go to crossexamined.org.